So, I want to ask you, Paupau, about your life.
Mình ngồi vào đấy.
Yeah, like where you're from and where you were
喺
born.
邊度出世？
出生嚟講日子
唔係就咁日子，地方
地方喺新會啊，
新會喺邊度？
咪
係台山？
唔係
唔係
台山
新會係喎。
嗰度咪叫做新會，
OK，新會省
要個新會個 city 啊
OK
一啲 city
係廣州
廣東
廣東
廣州嘅有一地方廣東
OK
廣東新會耀華坊啊，
耀華坊 is what
嗰條村啊，
村 OK that's the village
What's the name of it?
耀華坊
Yuwafong.
耀華坊
How far is it from Hong Kong?
香港
Yeah.
去幾趟香港？
佢話喺香港你個村喺香港離幾遠
哦，要搭船啊！
？You have to take a boat to Hong Kong from the village
The village like right next to the water.
係咪近水啊？
係水，
你
係嗰啲
你條村係咪近水啊？
唔近水，有個眼航，個眼航
銀行 is what a river
no 個前邊即係有個
harbor
唔知係叫咩，叫做眼航。我哋都要行路入去，即係喺個城市行入去村，要行路。
Oh, they have to walk from the city into the village.
Into her village.
Yeah.
你舊時有冇翻去過？
翻去咪係走難，走嚟走去，走翻去，之後翻嚟香港。
你過咗嚟美國有冇再翻去？
過咗嚟美國有翻去，第一趟翻去冇去村，拉尾去村就拆晒。
Oh. After she came to the States, she did go back to the village once.
最 last 嗰個翻去即係菲律嗰時翻去，已經拆晒。
And they had already, the village no longer existed anymore. It was all dismantled.
安樂獅子咁樣平嘅就
It
幾位
was,
車又
it was flattened, demolished.
So how many brothers and sisters did you have? Do you have?
咪四個一個 boy。
So 3 sisters and 1 brother.
How
She's
big?
the oldest.
個我最 old 就塞緊心醫，醫，然之後到 brother，然之後到無真醫。
So she's the oldest.
Uh-huh.
The second one is the one that lives in. Oh, she's the small one that lives in
San Francisco Avenues.
The avenues. The third one is
Vallejo Street.
Vallejo Street,
然之後 brother，
and that's Uncle Donald.
Mhm.
And then the last one is the one that lives in Yakima.
Yeah.
Or Sunnyside.
Uh-huh.
So were you the first one to come over?
我第一堂，我嚟第一。
She's first to the States.
So when you guys were growing up, did you live in like a big house, or did you live in?
你細個住條村嗰陣時，間屋係咪大屋冇細屋冇
大屋好大間，
big house？係咪有妹仔有
嗰時冇妹仔咯。
間大屋有幾多個瞓房啊？
有好幾個間房，佢又有個好大個廚房，又好大個廳。佢即係一入門口就去呢度一個花園咁樣，即係行園。
courtyard
咁然之後呢個廳啦，呢個廳呢個房啦，呢個有房啦。咁然之後行嚟呢度有個廚房，個食餐房啊，食餐房係廚房，廚房又時刻又喺過。
and the bathroom is way
咁又有個天井啊，有個花園喺後
And
邊。
then in the back there's garden.
Did you have grow your own food or 你有啲嘢自己有
自己係咪種自己食？係咪自己養雞養豬？
都冇養，冇
No, they didn't raise anything.
種嘢都有個唔係我種，我阿婆種。
Oh, her grandmother grew vegetable garden.
So then what did your parents do? Because I mean 你
你
有
個媽同爸做乜嘢工？
Because 你有咁大 house，
Yeah.
so 佢做
係
咩啊？
傳落嚟嘅間屋。
我爺買落去，
Her grandfather bought that big house.
不過嗰條村個間屋都咁大。
But everybody's house in that village is the same size.
Oh.
So 你嘅爺做乜嘢工？
我爺咪嚟咗美國做洗衣館。
Oh. Her grandfather came over to the U.S. and had a laundry. 喺邊度啊？
係唔知叫做千里大路我都唔知道。
千里唔係喺金山度。
佢係話金山做唔知喎。
It was in California, but she doesn't know
Not
what.
California.
No?
唔係。
No? Okay.
So
That's your 爺，佢喺美國，佢寄啲銀翻去
養我哋。
養。Okay. So the grandfather came over to the States, had a laundry, and he sent money back for their living. 咁樣你個爺過咗去，你個婆呢？
阿婆冇阿婆啦，到拉尾佢哋阿公阿爺唔喺度，都要攞翻個女人嚟做阿婆，幫做嘢。咁都冇見過面。
So the grandmother had passed away, but he wedded somebody else. 喺美國嗰陣時。
我爺喺呢度我都冇見過佢面啦，係拉尾翻香港見過啫，好耐都冇見過。
She hadn't seen the grandfather until he was back in Hong Kong.
打完仗佢翻嚟香港，咁就見咗啫。
After the war, he went back to Hong Kong, and that's when she saw him.
the war being which one?
Being a Dajong,
佢打日本，
the Japanese war.
So the Second World War.
所以我唔中意打日本。
Yeah. But 佢過嚟呢邊，right？嗰陣時。
我爺喺呢度，但我哋喺大陸噶嘛，
Okay.
我哋走難係。
That's why she's not happy with the Japanese because they had to flee from the village.
So
They were refugees.
so but in the war they went to Hong Kong. They fled to Hong Kong, right?
So 你嗰陣時走屋難嗰陣時，出咗去香港。
走日本未嚟香港嗰時，走出嚟香港。香港日本嚟咗，又走翻鄉下。
So when the Japanese was not in Hong Kong, they left to go to Hong Kong. And when the Japanese invaded Hong Kong, they went back into China.
走嚟走去咯。
So they kept going back and forth.
So after the war, did you guys go back? They heard back to China.
打完仗嗰陣時，
打完仗喺差南咪翻嚟香港。
and they went back to Hong Kong. 但嗰陣時係阿婆同埋阿爺同埋你哋兩頭走。
阿婆唔關阿婆事，係阿婆係。
Yeah，你哋
我媽，
你個媽啊嘛，我個婆嚟㗎。
我媽係啊，我媽都係好辛苦，帶我哋走翻鄉下。日本嚟香港，帶我哋走翻鄉下，咁即係又即係咩又走翻嚟呢邊香港。
咁你嘅爺呢？ 我哋個婆，我哋個爺呢？佢嗰陣時，
你哋阿公唔喺
阿公唔喺度咯。
嗰時佢走出嚟香港嗰時唔喺度。
哦，第一次走出嚟香港嗰陣時，我
日本未嚟香港以前嗰時佢已經，佢因為佢有肺癆嘛
liver
，no 嗰個
肺
肺癆係
kidney lung
或者
lung 係咪
肺癆有個肺，lung
？It's not cancer, is it?
no，咁佢咪出嚟嗰時佢已經病。
Oh. Her grandfather went into Hong Kong and he was sick already, so he died.
我爸
Yeah.
So her
My
father.
Yeah, her father, my grandfather. But 佢好嫩，
好遠
幾多歲啊？
都係嘥咗。
He was 30-something years old.
咪啊，冇真係幾歲就，我都係或者16歲嗰時。
Yeah, she was maybe in her teens.
She was.
When her father died.
So then, when you were younger, 你係返學，你做啲嘢，你做 like what did you
返
do?
學
Yeah，你冇返學
咪冇咩書讀啦，返學出嚟，香港，我媽就好中意我哋讀書，一出嚟香港以後，我哋揾學校讀，你知道學校要俾眼啦，
Yeah.
咁讀打嚟就又要走，又讀唔到，喺鄉下讀幾讀又係要走咯，咁咪
Yeah. So
讀
they
嚟讀
really
去1、2班讀嚟都
they never
second
really had an education because when they came out, it cost money to be educated. And her mother wants them to be educated. So she would enroll them in school. But after 1 or 2 years, they had to leave because they were fleeing the Japanese. So they went back into China, and then she would enroll them there, and they would start all over again first 2 years, and then they would have to run back out. So they never really had an education.
出嚟香港唔知讀咗有冇1年，咁又冇得讀，讀嚟讀去第2班。
So only up to the 2nd grade.
So what else type of things did you like? Did you have any hobbies like beside like, or did you like a mom tell you 做啲 chores and stuff?
So when I cycle, 係咪就咁玩 ？Otherwise 你係咪唱歌，一係做嗰啲嘢，or 你個媽要你洗衫，要你
做
幫
嘢
做嘢。
要出去擔大揾眼啊！
Oh, she had to like.
做工啊出去。
She went out and was a laborer, so they
同
would.
阿媽同埋一齊去啊！
Well, so her mother and her would go out and they would have to work for a living because father wasn't there anymore. And so if it meant digging dirt and carrying the dirt from one place to another because they're building, that's what they would do.
嗰時喺香港寄眼又難寄啦嚇。
Yeah, because during the war it was really hard. He can't send money over because it would get intercepted, and where would they be? Are they in Hong Kong or are they in China? How you can...
So then, after the war, what made you want to? Did your family pressure you to get married, and how come you didn't just marry someone over in China versus someone 公公係喺呢度？
公公喺呢度。
係啊。How come 你想
我個 grandma 哋識得㗎，阿 Jimmy 個媽，咁有家講嚟話佢有個孫女咩介紹佢過嚟，介紹俾我爹俾你爹哋啦。咁你佢睇到個相啊，咁大家都咩咁咪過嚟結婚咯。
Okay, so her grandmother.
Yeah, 我 grandma.
Yeah, her grandmother
同一齊做工嘅，同阿 Jimmy 個媽一齊做。
was working with a Yi's mother. They had a sewing factory. They were working together. So she said, I have a granddaughter. You know, why don't you get together and
阿嫲又唔一齊做㗎嘛。
and Dad, my grandmother, she was working in the same sewing factory. So she owned a sewing factory, and then these other ladies were working there. My grandmother and Regan and Susan's grandmother, they were working together and said, "Oh, I have a granddaughter. Why don't you bring her over and she can get married to you?" So
Over in
then,
the States, right?
yeah, then they looked at her picture, and then Daddy wanted, right? Because her diet had Jimmy, but Daddy 睇相話.
Yeah.
So my grandfather took a look at the picture and says, "Okay." So then they brought her over to get married. And then after that, Jimmy, which is Regan's mom, parents, he saw that mom's not a bad deal and said, "Does she have a sister?" And he brought the sister over.
Yipaw.
No,
Ayi.
Yi.
係啦，佢叫葉婆。
Yeah, your Yipaw. My Yi.
不
Vallejo
過
Street.
葉婆係買紙嚟嘅，唔係。
She did?
Yeah，佢嗰時
Oh,
買姓陳嘅。
oh, she bought somebody's paper and came over as that person's child.
She did.
No, her sister. So 你阿媽點過嚟？
咁咧，
第一你過嚟，然後你姨過嚟。
咁阿姨個家婆咪又去禮拜堂咪申請嗰啲難民紙，咁咪
整你阿媽過嚟。
整個包過嚟。
So she was in the church, and then they had immigrations. So they petitioned to bring immigration over.
咁啱佢哋兩個未過年嚟咪一齊過嚟啊，求咪
And then the other two were minors, so they were able to bring her mom, Donald Duck, and the other Yi, the Yakima Yi, over. So then that's how the whole family got here.
How old were you near her widow?
20歲。
20 years old.
嗰時自己嚟搭飛機搭3日啊！
3 days?
第一
You know,
去
Hong Kong.
菲律賓，
Oh,
喺香港去菲律賓，
Hong Kong to Philippines.
或者佢入油咪唔係埋去。咁啊菲律賓然之後行咗山，
Then
行
Honolulu,
咗山然之後嚟
and then
沙
San Francisco. Because the fuel, you have to refuel in all those locations.
嗰時架飛機好細隻，兩個位啫。
兩邊兩個人冇攞。Yeah, she said it was a small plane.
What made you want to get married?
咁過咗嚟咪11月過嚟，12月結婚。
She came over in November and she got married in December. So 佢話點解你想過嚟呢邊結婚？
冇得解。
但嗰陣時係
Yeah，
你咁樣做咁做
唔係啦。
It wasn't really a choice.
啱啱要你咁做就咁做。
Your mother told you, you're going over to the States to get married to this dude. You go and do it. You were obedient. You didn't have choices in your life. In those days, you're lucky you weren't married off to some old dude that made you number 2 or 3.
So, Gong Gong Yao Nega,
時候
and so did Kirby Nei,
你又見到佢相，
do you think he was handsome?
你睇佢相嗰陣時，你點諗啊？
冇嘢啊嘛，
你諗佢靚仔嘛
有仔。
？Yes.
I'm gun you because you get married anyway, so what difference does it make?
Well,
冇得講啊！嗰時冇得講。
yeah, you have no say in it.
Yeah.
She was just pleased that he's halfway decent.
So, how old were you? You got married at 20 then?
你20歲
Yeah.
9人
Yeah.
So, when did you have Uncle Ray?
21歲。
Yeah, 21. Because
48年嚟咯，49年嚟。
yeah, so she came over when she was 20 in November, she got married in December, and she had Ray in September.
How many kids did you want?
你自己想我幾多個？
我自己都想一樣我兩個，
She just wanted 2 each, wanted 4,
唔加上
but there's 5. Because Daddy wanted a boy, a second boy, right?
Yeah.
Daddy wanted another boy, so he wanted to try for 1 more. So that's why Bonnie was supposed to be a boy.
係係
佢話係唔係？
係唔想我翻嚟。
She didn't want her?
Well, no, not that she didn't want her. She didn't want another child, but Daddy wanted another boy. So then they tried for 1 more. So that's why when she was little, she was a tomboy. She was. She
你
was,
知道咩 tomboy 係咩啊？你知道？
即係男仔咁咯，
yeah,
男仔頭。
she knows.
How are
Because Daddy would sit there and watch boxing. She would sit there and watch boxing with him. That's why she's so into the sports and stuff.
So, did you always live in the Wayne Place? Or always?
一嚟到就住嗰度。
Yeah, she always lived there.
What type of parent were you? A whole like were you?
佢問你做老母，你係咪好惡？係咪好嚴？係咪點樣？
過咗去。
我問你啊 because 你個 daughters and 你個 son say something different.
咩即係？
佢話你諗你係做乜嘢個媽？Because 我哋或者諗 different。
咪想佢聽聽教教，身體健康係咁養大咁咪佢自己發展。
What'd she say?
She just said her job was to raise them. As long as they were healthy
個個 healthy
and that they're educated and they're obedient.
個個都好聽話。
And she says we all turned out okay.
你打佢？
冇打，
你冇打？
冇打過。
個個打，
Yeah,
個個打。
yeah, they would only hit Ray. But you pinched. 你搣我哋。
搣你哋唔搣
Yeah， 係醫教你嘅。
So 你係三藩市，你做工，你有朋友嗰度，你有 like what's it? How did you build your life there? Because 你係你個媽，你係媽，你有你個仔 ，but like 你
In those days, you don't have a choice. Daddy didn't want her to work because it's very traditional. So she didn't work until after Pat, and we all went to school.
Yeah.
Then she went next door to work in the sewing factory. It was more, not really.
嗱 next
真係揾銀嚟養，係有啲嘢做，right? It's not really to go make a living, but it's just having something to do because all the kids are in school now. And all the other ladies in the block, in the alley, they all had the same situation. All the kids were going to school, so like next door, Anna's mother, Dennis's mother, all these mothers all went next door to the soy factory, and that's what they did.
Where was the factory? In the alleyway?
Next door, yeah.
It was in the alleyway?
It's next door to our house downstairs. In the
Shut
basement.
up. Really?
Yeah.
I thought because I remember Gong Gong took me nigga Jogong because I don't
That was
remember
a long time
yeah.
ago. After that one closed down,
Yeah.
she wanted to do something else, so she went to the other one in the alley. 幫我編住街啊，
The alleyway.
係舊時你做完佢隔離嗰個山嗰陣時，你去做。
又做幾 幾年咯。
Yeah, 喺邊度？
I am 係天后廟街 Grace Valley 喺天后廟街喺 Uncle 嗰度。
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was between Washington and Clay, the alley that cuts across this.
嗰個開嗰個係邊個個 sister 開嘅？鄭師奶你知道啊？
Oh, 鄧師奶？
鄭師奶個妹開嘅，
Oh.
咁啊又去佢嗰度做幾年。
When they show your Social Security.
啊？
I mean, show your Social Security.
有咩？
Social Security 養老。
養老金，咪係幫咪係攞嗰啲養老金。
But 係 Daddy 嘅養老金，我未自己
養，因為我攞多爹哋嗰啲又俾啲我咁。
所以而家有幾多？
啊？
而家有幾多？
千個啲
1200一個月。
Yeah.
But 你仲要俾 tax？
俾你 tax， 屋
No， 唔係屋 tax， 你年年 file income tax 嗰時仲要有俾。
佢寄翻啲俾我。
OK。Because 每月嗰個1200佢攞緊啲出嚟係咪？
啊？
咁樣 income tax 嗰時佢俾翻俾你。
Yeah.
So she worked a legitimate job.
Yeah, it was soy factory, so they had to file. You have Social
哥哥整
Security.
嗰個年年都幾翻百。
Yeah. So she gets a refund.
俾10幾翻10零蚊，加省。
Oh, state. So she gets a refund, state and federal every year.
What type of dad was 公公？
佢問公公係乜嘢人？點對你？ He was good to her. He was a good husband. Only thing was he smoked. That's the only thing she didn't like, right? 就咁佢食煙。
啊？
就咁佢食煙唔好。
Yeah.
But everything else 佢
Yeah.
佢又唔係賭錢，佢又唔係乜嘢都唔好。
係食煙。
He was a decent man except he smoked. That was the only vice.
Because so
He
嗰
likes
時都唔，你隻後生嗰時都唔緊要食煙啦，係拉尾都話唔好食煙嘅。
Yeah, when you're young, that time it was, smoking or not smoking, everybody smoked in those days, so it was not a big deal. But it's when he was older, he should have quit.
But he went to the Vietnam War too. How long was he gone?
佢打仗係 he didn't go Vietnam War. He was World War II.
World War II.
Yeah.
How long? Because
It was before he got married.
I thought he got drafted in the Vietnam War too.
No, Ray was drafted, but he didn't go. Vietnam War was too late.
So, what type of vacations did you all go on as a family?
佢話我哋個細個係乜嘢 vacation？ 每幾年。
唔記得咯。
Well, we went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
We went to Yakima a couple of times.
Yeah.
And 每個 vacation 都同埋阿姨哋 right 兩個家庭。
嗰個去 Castle 度冇係我哋幾個。
Yeah.
係我。
Most vacation was a caravan, 2 station wagon. Mom, Dad threw all kids in the car. Yi and Jimmy threw their kids in the car, and they'd go wherever. If we were going up to Washington, we caravan up to Washington. If we were going
Where'd
to
you guys park a car?
佢瞓租房咁樣。
what? What do you mean where we parked the car in the street?
Yeah, but like there's no parking in the alleyway.
No, you didn't park in the alley. You drive around until you found a space in the street.
Okay.
Broadway, Vallejo, Mason, Powell, Taylor, Pacific, Jackson. You park where you found a space to park.
So when you started having grandkids, how did you feel?
你起手有孫嗰陣時，你點？
有咩啊？
起手有孫嗰陣時，你點樣？你 She's happy.
但係你有孫，你有份。
I don't want to talk about that. Anyways, so but you didn't feel that you wanted to take care of them.
佢話你唔湊孫。
我做工。
She said she was working.
Bullshit. 你想做工，你唔想 take care of the baby?
我又 take care 你啊！
Well, yeah. Well, that's circumstantial, of course, but
你記得喺星期六同你去嗰個咩啊？落去下邊個 play school 係咪？
Yeah.
咁你行到上嚟，喺見隔離嗰個咩喺度，你想唔想行？都要喺度等你架車你翻上嚟。
She says she would come up in Seattle during the summer. She'd take you because summer you would go to Boys and Girls Club.
yeah.
She'd go pick you up, and you guys would walk back. But you didn't want to walk anymore, and you saw Felton, and Felton would go get his car. So you would stand there until Felton went and got his car and pick you up to take you back.
Yeah, I remember that.
你記得嘛？
I do. But she,
喺嗰間咩啊？嗰間賣嘢嗰間嗰度喺度等。 你想講咩？
so then, but 你唔中意日本人 but 你有 grandkids 喺日本。
不係唔關佢哋事，不我係唔中意嗰打仗嗰啲嘢。
She doesn't like the war and the Japanese that caused the war. It has nothing to do with Ted. He wasn't there. It wasn't him.
I know.
So that's what she's saying.
公公唔中意日本人。
She says she doesn't.
She knows. Anyways, but then, so how many grandkids did you think that you wanted?
佢問你想我幾多個書記？
到我想我，
It's not her choice.
佢有幾多咪幾多，冇得想嘅。
He says, as many as happens. It's not up to her.
So when you were younger, like that's all you wanted to do. That's all you knew what to do. It's to just be a wife and.
你細個嗰陣時，你想諗係想自己想做乜嘢？
乜事都冇得諗，都唔知諗。
In those days, you know, you weren't raised to. But 你想讀書 She wanted to go to school. 你中意讀書啊？
中意讀書，不讀都讀唔掂。
But she says, you know, based on situation.
即係家庭經咪讀唔讀佢讀唔掂，以後講咗冇錯。
She says today, even taking English as second language, she keeps trying to learn, but comes in one year and goes out the other.
好容易唔記得。
It's very easy to forget. 你細個好易學嘢，你老啲好難學嘅。
我唔知點解人哋嚟美國，我嚟美國，點解我咁論盡都冇法子講得到英文係好難。
She says she's challenging what's wrong with other people come to the States at the same time she comes to the States. How come she can't master language and other people can? I think one thing, Mom, the problem is 你喺唐人房你唔使
Yeah.
用，咁你唔使用，咁你咪唔用咯。最易講翻唐話。如果你係搬咗去第二度，逼住你要講，咁你咪講得出嚟咯。
我覺得好難做。
Well， 如果你細個過嚟嗰陣時，你要逼住你要學，逼住你要講，咁你就識㗎啦。
一嚟到冇讀過，一嚟到冇讀。
Yeah, she didn't learn anything when she came over.
係去咗休完之後讀啫。
It was only until after she retired that she just started to take classes.
係10年，嚟咗10年，就我哋個廠嗰度個個去讀入籍，咁我咪入去啱到入籍。
She says after she was here 10 years, because everybody in the sewing factory was getting naturalized to get their U.S. citizenship, she went along with everybody else, and fortunately she was able to get nationalized.
How that process? That was that process. So they
入籍
Esther
So what did you have to do? 你做咩啊？
冇去到做咩？
你點學要？
唔係去金伯倫嗰間學校人，嗰啲舊時唔係話咁啊，係教入籍嗰個娘官娘係咁教呢啲人入籍度講嗰幾句咁啊，學嗰幾句。
In those days, it was easier. They had in the Cumberland church, they had immigration classes, and this person, the instructor, would teach you the phrases you needed to know to be able to pass the immigration test.
哇！嗰時啊，10蚊入籍啫，依家就900、700入籍咯。
Back then, it only cost $100 to get your immigration paper to apply and pass. Now it's $700-800.
舊時我哋入籍又艱難啲啊，要2個證人啊。
You needed 2
依家唔
witnesses.
使啊，依家唔使。
Now you don't need it. She said it's harder.
2個證人又唔係自己親人。
Yeah, they can't be a relative.
Oh, to have a reference.
Uh-huh. 咁邊個做呢啲？
嗰個 Eddie 咧，喺邊係佢係咪邊個？唔知啊，唔記得喎。即係Jimmy 個 sister。
嗰個 Auntie 係點親戚
？Auntie 係我阿婆個 sister。
OK。
祖爸個 sister。
佢點解佢咁叻㗎？
佢喺行山山出世，佢讀書啊嘛。
OK。
佢讀書啊嘛。咁我祖婆就又係咁帶咗佢翻鄉下，帶咗佢翻中國啊嘛。咁佢喺中國結咗婚啦，結咗婚就唔離得個呢度。咁拉尾
佢又係行山出世。
個行山出世。嗰個大姨婆仲翻去紮腳添啊！翻去紮住腳咁問。佢哋嗰個年紀啊，就帶佢翻去紮腳。咁呢幾個冇紮，係佢一個紮腳。有好幾個姨婆咯，兩個舅大姨婆，三姨婆、4姨婆，長姨婆有好幾種兩個，又係喺行山。
所以佢個個喺行山出世。咁你個
祖婆又喺行山出世。
咁係你嘅爺？
唔係我爺。祖婆係我阿婆。
因為祖婆係你個婆。
Yeah.
但佢嘅爸係
佢翻嚟又喺生，好似阿嫲個父母，佢都唔知道佢又係嚟咗美國嫲喺美國出世。
Yeah, no 阿嫲喺美國出世。
又唔知道佢個父母點樣嚟啊
？But 你個祖伯，你又唔知道佢點嚟？
唔知道。
But 佢somehow喺唐康生，佢哋個個喺唐康生出世。
佢姊妹喺唐
康生。家陣冇轉
啊？
家陣仲有咩？
唔記得。你知道嗰個阿邊個？嗰個你應該識得嘅，嗰個又喺度。唔記得佢個老公幾多歲？
哦，yeah，好似肥仔旗嗰邊係
唔係肥仔旗？唔記得，唔記得唔有。
So then, the question you guys are talking.
肥仔旗咧，阿嫲嗰邊啲阿嫲個哥嗰啲仔女，肥仔旗。呢邊就有呢邊。
阿嫲有個哥，有佢，仲有咩？
仲有細佬，有個哥有個細佬，都唔知。有妹，個妹咧，你記得我哋去羅山見過嗰個
肥姨。我哋係佢個妹。
嗰個妹。
So then, how did she get her mom?
玉群。
個玉群。
玉群係阿長兒婆個女，係阿嫲個最低尾個輩個女。玉群都話唔喺度。
唔喺度啦。
聽佢講話。
So they got widow, right?
Yeah.
How'd she do that?
An immigration paper, because of Jimmy's mother process or petition for them to come.
Anything else you want to share about your life?
So 你過嚟美國嗰陣時冇咁辛苦 ，right？
唔係好辛苦。
But 如果你唔過嚟，你嘅生活都會辛苦。But 你諗到係會辛苦 ，right？
Yeah。嗰時我未過嚟，嗰時我去學織布咯。
Oh, you were？
喺個好掛環嗰度學織，唔知唔係好，唔知唔係好，唔知唔記得邊度學織布咯，長沙環嗰度。
He says before she came over, she was in Colin learning how to make knit fabric. 係織冷衫嗰啲機。
嗰啲機織布，織係布嚟。
布嚟㗎啦。Oh, she was weaving.
唔知織嗰有冇1年2年學㗎。
She was learning how to do it a couple of years. That was her living. She would have had a tough.
要俾眼學啊。
Oh, you have to pay to learn the trade. She would have had a tough life if she didn't come over and learn my dad.
Oh, yeah.
你錄得晒。
Yeah, all of it.
佢錄咗，但係佢識唔識聽啊？出翻嚟。
Any more questions?
我哋個正式鄉下又喺咩喺好遠啊，着翻出嚟新會啫。
It's just the village is actually very far to come out to the big city. So 如果攞 China 嗰啲地圖，你揾得翻俾我？
唔知睇唔睇到？係有
佢嗰度有字嘅啫。
有字，個新會唔知佢有冇寫落去。
如果佢舊時係省城，會有咯。
新會城。嗰個村好大啊！一間屋咁10幾個成20條巷，一條巷幾間屋咁。
河個街
啊？
河
巷啊，即個
街。
Yeah.
This is the village is pretty big. It's like, you know, 20, 30 street. Each street has at least 10 big houses. So it's a big village. 嗰條村啲人做乜嘢㗎？
每日就煮金山老記買翻嚟。
Oh really? 個村唔係好似舊時鄉下啲村有啲係耕田，有啲係整茶葉啊，有啲係整嗰啲茶壺嗰啲嘢。
都喺鄉下嗰條村咧就耕田，即係喺好遠嗰個出咗嚟買，個個係都打金山老記買。
She said it's almost everybody in that village that she was living in.
好少做工。
Nobody worked because they were waiting for the money to come back from the States.
So 你有水 and electricity 係你嘅屋企。
嚇？
間屋有冇電？有冇水啊？
有水，有個井。
There's well.
對，個井屋企啲井水就唔愛嚟食，要行出邊要擔嗰啲井水食。
Oh, you couldn't use the well from the village area to cook, to eat, or drink. You used it for washing stuff. You had to go outside of the village to
多人用嗰啲水。
Oh, because too many people use that water, so it's not necessarily
clean
sanitation.
間屋有樓上啦，有
The house had upstairs.
樓上啊，兩個間房，兩邊房，兩邊。
Both sides had rooms to use as bedrooms.
Do you want to know anything else? Oh yeah.
嚇？
好似冇嘢。
冇嘢講啦。
She said she doesn't have anything else to tell you. If you ask questions, she'll answer, but she has nothing to tell you.
Okay.
So you can ask her. 最中意係邊個？
I was gonna ask that.
See?
最中意你。
It's bullshit.
咁信佢。
有冇有？有冇有嘢？
冇啦。
That's all I have.
Okay.